Morning Year 5, your Fluency test today is on adding fractions. It's coming up on the video. I've given you a minute this time. I want you to just think about your denominator. If you're pausing the video, then that's fine. If you're not, then the timer starts now. Here are some of the solutions to yesterday's challenge. So I asked you to find as many rectangles as you could that would have the area of 24 centimetres squared. So each of these just needed really to look at the factors of 24. So we've got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Well done if you got those. So today we're continuing with looking at area, and just to refresh our brains, we remember that area is the inside of a 2D shape, okay, and perimeter is the outside, which we looked at earlier in the week. Now we're continuing to think about that today in the abstract sense. So yesterday we were looking at and thinking about these measurements, so these squares that were either millimetres, centimetres, metres squared, and how many we could fit on the inside. Today we're thinking more abstract, and we're going to use this formula, so we're thinking about the length times by the width to find the area of a shape. So that's just both of the sides multiplied together. Thinking about that formula, I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can find the area of these rectangles on the board. So we've got 3 centimetres and 7 centimetres, 6 and 9 and 8 and 5. Remember, these aren't accurate, but if you've got a ruler at home, you can draw them out and make them accurate. As an extra challenge, you could find their perimeter as well as their area. Remember your unit of measure. Let's go through the answers. So starting off with this one. So we know the length is 7 centimetres and the width is 3. So we need to do 7 multiplied by 3, which gives us the area. So the area of this shape is 21 centimetres squared. Remember that's squared. If you've done the perimeter, then the perimeter, remember, is just adding up around the outside of the shape. So here we've got our number bond, so 7 and 3 is 10. Another and 7 and 3 is 20. So for the perimeter, we just need centimetres. Okay? Next one over here, so we've got the length is 9 and the width is 6. So the calculation is 9 times by 6 or 6 times by 9. That gives us 54 centimetres squared. Okay? And again, if you have done the perimeter, it's just a case of adding them together. And 9 and 6 gives us 15, times that by 2, perimeter is 30 centimetres. The last one, we've got a width of 5 and the length of 8, so we've got to do 5 times by 8 or 8 times by 5. That gives us the area, which is 40 centimetres squared. And if we've done the perimeter, then again, it's just a case of adding them together. This time I would do 5 and 5, which gives me my 10 and my number bonds. Add 16 gives us 26 centimetres. These ones are a little bit trickier, and I really want you to pay attention to the units of measure. Okay, so we've got 3, we've got 1.5 metres and 5 metres, a rectangle 800 centimetres and 4 metres, and then this one, the area of the rectangle is 27 metres squared, and you know one side is 9 metres, so I want you to figure out what is the length of this side here. As an extra challenge, try and work out the perimeter as well. We'll start off with this one here. So to find out the area of the shape, we need to do 1.5 times by 5. So 1.5 times by 5. To do this, we could just do the 5 wholes times the 1, which gives you 5. Then 5 times 5 gives us 25, make it 10 times smaller, which gives you 2.5. And then we've got to add them together. So the area of this shape is 7.5 metres squared. If you figured out the perimeter of this shape as well, then the perimeter is 13 for this one. Perimeter equals 13. Remember, 13 metres. So we're just adding around outside edges. Then we'll go over to this one. So before I started with this one, we've noticed that one of our lengths is in centimetres and the other is in metres. So I would turn this into metres first, or you could turn this into centimetres. But 800 centimetres is the same as 8 metres. Then we've got two nice whole numbers to work with. So we do 8 times by 4. That gives us 32. So the area of this rectangle here is 32 metres squared. Okay? And if you want to take the perimeter, then again we're adding them together. The perimeter of this shape is 24 metres. Okay, so the area is metres squared and the perimeter just in metres. Now this one, you were already given the area, which is 27 metres squared. We knew that this length was 9, so we had to figure out what this length was. So we can either do 27 divided by 9, and it's just thinking, well, what times by 9 is going to give me 27? So if we do the inverse, 27 divided by 9, this should have given you 3 metres. Okay, so that's 3 metres there. For the perimeter as well, if you worked out the perimeter of this one is also 24 metres. Okay, well done if you got those. That's it from me today. Your task today, not on Purple Mash, it's over on Mymaths. So remember, if you have any issues logging in, then remember just to email us and we can sort those straight out for you. Please make sure you go over there, and if you get a chance, perhaps have a go if you've got any activities that you haven't done yet. So the first question is similar to what you did yesterday, so it's about counting the squares, the centimetres squared. Some of them are a little bit more tricky, so they might have half squares, so remember, 2 half of squares make up a whole one, so just look really carefully at those. And then your second question is just what we've been practising, thinking about the length times by the width, and to have a look at that unit of measure as well. Your challenge as well today is I would like you to draw as many different rectangular shapes that you can that all have the area of 36 centimetres squared. So how many possibilities can you find? And then also can you find their perimeters? So good luck, and I shall see you tomorrow. Remember, any questions or any work, any answers to the challenge, please put it on the blog or email it to our email addresses.